Good morning, good morning, good morning. Beautiful people, beautiful people. Hello, hello, hello. Hold on for a second. Hello, hello, hello. It's early, but it's not that early. I'm getting ready to head out, and I actually decided this morning. You guys know I cook every day, so I decided this morning that I was going to be allowed to go to be taken to breakfast. So hopefully they cook as good as I do because I'll be pissed if they don't. So um, I wanted to I wanted to do this message before I left because it was very profound. The message this morning. Okay. So I created that support circle for the young lady who needed the support, that one of my clients, and she's got a great circle. Sister's now talking to her. I have scheduled the sister circle. It is going to start next week, Tuesday. And I will get that information out there so you can register and be a part of it. Okay. We're going to talk about all different type of topics, things that, we may need support through, things we need to recognize, diagnose, assess about ourselves, but also about where they came from. Okay. I have a friend, and she's been in therapy for a little bit, and she's dating, and she's she calls me, when certain things take place. She'll call me, and I will give her guidance, relationship advice, but also individual guidance. And the other day, she called me and she told me something, and I said, no, I said, he's not wrong. That's you. That's your trigger. And she was just like kind of lost for words. But then I told her triggers are huge. We as adults don't recognize triggers. We're not even familiar with them. But a trigger is a behavior. It is a behavior. It is a situation. It could be words. It could be emotions. It is anything that triggers a response from us of anxiety, paranoia, sadness, grief, fear. Okay. And thus, we have a response that's attached to each one of those things. Now, you can have happy triggers, things that trigger you, that make you smile, that make you, ecstatic, that make you excited. Okay. But of course, those aren't the triggers. Well, sometimes we have to work on those triggers if we've got them mixed up. But for the most part, it is the triggers that bring about, fear that we that we need to work towards most. Okay. And um, I was telling her, I was explaining to her why she was feeling the way she was as a result of something that was said or done. And when I got done, she said to me, she said, I need to get my money back from that therapist because I've been working with that person for years and she never talked about this. And I'm like, yes, triggers are huge. Triggers are a huge reason. A lot of us, we have them and we don't even know. Okay. And the one thing about therapy is that the goal of therapy is to identify the issue that's presently exists in your psyche, your emotional, your mental. Okay. But in order to solve it, okay, we can't just address it right here. We've got to go back and see, where did it come from? Okay, so if you have a bad behavior, a pessimistic thought process, where did that come from? Did you see it growing up? Were you hurt? Did you develop it yourself? These are all things that play into our behavior patterns as adults, okay? And what triggers certain responses from us, okay? So I say that to say that when you are a child of a narcissist, okay, or you are married or in relationship with narcissistic people or people who narcissistic behavior, you tend to put up with a lot and not realize you tend to stay in stuff because you think people are going to change. But you don't realize that narcissists do not change. People with narcissistic behavior can alter that behavior, okay? But a narcissist will never admit that they're a narcissist because they can't see it. They can't see it. So how can you acknowledge and address and heal something that you can't see? Okay? This is where self-assessment comes in, because most narcissistic people will never self-assess. And if they do, they will tell you that they did it, and they just to be able to tell you what you want to hear, and then the behavior will come back because they're not really making an effort into changing it. Okay? And narcissists can manipulate therapists. They can manipulate a therapist into making the therapist believe that the personality they're showing in the office is this authentic personality, and everybody out in the world is victimizing them and hurting them. So those are covert narcissists. They're even more dangerous than they're more dangerous. Okay, because they can turn a whole society of people against one person, and the whole society will believe everything that person has to say. And the person who's being, turned against usually feels isolated and alone. And if they have a codependency issue, they will go back to the environment of the narcissist to appease the society so they can get back their support system. It's a dangerous game. Mental health and narcissism is a dangerous mental illness. Do you hear me? Um, Trust me. All right. I know a lot, but there's a lot I can't share until later dates. So, the reason why I came in here to do this reading is because one of the things that narcissists tend to do is they tend to, in their children, they kind of kill your dreams. All right. They tend to make you feel like your dreams are foolish, or they're not real dreams. Okay. That's not what real people do. All right. And as adults, we grow up and we let go of those dreams. And I'm hearing God tell people to pick them back up. Okay? Because your dreams were actually a part of his divine plan. All right? When I first started prophet school, I had left church, and I grew up in the Catholic Church. I didn't know how to pray. And I remember my apostle said, we were in class one day, and he said to me, "Why don't you just pray to God?" And I said, "Okay." And I said, "Our Father who art in heaven." He said, "Well, what's that?" I said, "I'm praying to God." He said, "You don't have to say a recited prayer to pray to God. You could just talk to him like you would anyone." And I was like, "Well, no, I was always taught like you have to pray to him this way." And he said, "No, you need to talk to him as if he's your friend, as if he's your, he just talk. That's all you gotta do is just talk." And I'll never forget the first conversation I had with God. It was just like, I'm very sarcastic, as you guys know. So my first conversation with God was just like, "Are you there?" Because I'm trying this differently, and I don't even know how this works. But he said, if I talk to you, that you would hear me, and I don't have to do the whole Our Father, Hail Mary, and Apostles' Creed. I could just come on here and tell you what I need to talk to you about. And the first time was very awkward because it felt disrespectful. It was like I was taught, this sounds disrespectful. But as it went on, little by little, I started realizing it's not disrespectful. He's a father. You say you want your kids to come and talk to you, but yet some of you don't even feel comfortable just talking to God, just straight out the way you are, just straight from the heart. So that's one thing that he wanted me to bring to your attention this morning. The other thing is setting goals for yourself. Okay. I set goals for myself from the time I was a kid. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be this. I want to be that. But the goals that I really stuck more with me were in my 20s. I said I am going to become a vice president of a bank. Okay. Before I hit 30, I want to be VP at a bank. All right. So I did not achieve that. So I was a little upset about that when I hit 30. But actually what I said was I want to be a VP. Okay. So Um, God said, no, that's not what's meant for you. And I said, okay. Well, maybe, I think I'm going to be a business owner. That definitely want to do that. And I have hit the mark on that. Okay. God said, yeah, that is part of my plan for you. So yes, you can be a business owner. All right. I had a lot of businesses that were successful, a lot of businesses that weren't successful. Okay. But I've learned along the way. Then I said to God, I think I want to be a lawyer. And he said, I didn't become a lawyer in the physical realm. Okay. Little did I know when that didn't happen, I was going to become a lawyer in the spiritual realm. Okay. Helping people in the spiritual realm. Okay. What I'm trying to state here is everything that I planned for my life based on what other people told me it should look like or what success should look like is not what my life is today. My life, the only things that manifested in my life were the things that were truly in line with God. It was meant for me to be a business owner. I strived too low when I said I wanted to be a vice president. I was really supposed to say I wanted to be a president because that is what I am today of my corporations. I wanted to be a lawyer in a sense, like I said, I am. I wanted to be a chef, and I will be after I finish the responsibilities over here. Because what God wants for you first is what's going to manifest first in your life. And the problem is a lot of us are trying to manifest what we want for our life, and it's not in line with what God wants. Okay? So if I had set my sights on becoming a VP of a bank, and God said, yeah, you're supposed to be a VP, you heard that wrong. It's supposed to be VP, but not the bank. I would still be working at it today in my 40s because it's not in line with what he wanted for me. When you surrender to the journey, when you open up your mind that maybe I heard a little differently. Yes, I'm supposed to be an artist, but maybe I'm supposed to be an artist for God. Yes, I'm supposed to be a musician, but maybe I'm supposed to be a musician for God. Maybe that's why I have not become famous. Maybe that's why I have not achieved certain financial milestones. Yes, this is my path. But how does this path bring glory to God? Okay. What I wanted to be was irrelevant. I mean, it was relevant to an extent, but I think that you guys need to see how who it is you want to be falls in line with how God loves you and what he wants for you. Okay? When you find that common dynamic, I think you'll find something that you've been looking for a long time. Some of you haven't found. And that is success. Not just success uh, within your yourself, within your physical, but within yourself and your spirit. Okay? If I had managed to become a VP, I still wouldn't have been fulfilled and I probably would have left. And later became a VP of my own business. Okay? So understand that everything has its place. But for a lot of you guys, if you were raised by narcissistic parents or parents that were jealous of their own children, a lot of you gave up on your dreams and your goals because, well, my mom said, my dad said, but you didn't realize that they were saying it from a place of being hurt and they passed it on to you. Okay? You're meant to pick these things back up, guys. All right? Find out, pick up where you left off at is where I keep hearing. Okay? Observer. Because for a lot of you, you've been sitting back watching other people. You've been watching others. Or you've had your head in the clouds. All right? it's time for you to come out of that space of being the observer and to go through that window, truth be told. Okay? Walk through that door of understanding. You know, I was raised by narcissists and I ended up marrying a narcissist. And I didn't even see it because I couldn't see what I didn't understand. I didn't know. I just thought the shit didn't work. I didn't know. Okay? Um, I thought that it was normal for people to suppress who they were in order to be happy in relationships. Go figure. That's not normal. The tribe. You know, sometimes we are born into an environment that is not the environment for us. Look at this. No place like home. Okay, change. All right. Leaving chaos and conflict behind you. All right. And creating the home that you want. Sometimes we are indoctrinated into a certain mindset, a way of being. And in order for us, we sit back and watch our life go by. We watch other people live the life that they want to live and have the relationships and the marriages they want. And we, you know, in order for us to stop watching them, we have to be willing to tell the truth to ourselves. And sometimes telling the truth to yourselves is recognizing that the tribe that you've been a part of is not where you belong, that there's a different tribe for you, a different environment, different family, different people, different baby, different spouses, different type of environment as far as dating and people that you're going to deal with. So, and when you find the right tribe, there's no place like home. Okay? But it's not on the ground. It's when you ascend to where these ants and bugs and things down here that were meant to be or chose to be down here where they exist. But when you get up here, they can't climb up here because they have to do their own work. Okay? So I feel like some of you guys, you're like wanting, it's like wanting a better, you know, if your parents built a home down here, but you don't want that type of home. You want something up here. You want something more light in it. Sometimes in order to have a different, we have to change our environment. Okay? Chaos and conflict. Chaos and conflict comes when you are too flexible. Flexible in who you are, flexible in what you want. You change your mind because people say things and you just now you done change your mind. You don't set goals. You know, one of my friends said to me the other day, I was planning the Sapphire Dragonfly Wonder Woman weekend, and I was looking at some really elaborate houses. I'm not gonna lie. And my friend said to me, she said, I told her, well, maybe we should change from Colorado to another state. Da da da. She said, Nick, we're gonna stop this right here. She said, because I know you. You're indecisive and you'll go all over the place and you won't schedule anything. And I had to laugh because she wasn't lying. All right? She wasn't lying. She wasn't lying because for the longest time I have been indecisive in my life. Very indecisive. And I finally stopped. I'm working on not doing that anymore, on making decisions. Indecisiveness comes from a fear or an insecurity of not making the right decision. So we stay in this limbo place of flexibility, flowing back and forth, because we're scared of making our own decisions or making a decision. And what if it doesn't end up the way I want it to? Then you learn next time. I had to learn that. Okay. Virgos have a real big thing about perfectionism that I had to overcome. Okay. And people's opinion of what perfectionism is and trying to live up to their opinion and their views versus my own. All right. Sometimes we are so flexible in life. we end up not getting anywhere. Because instead of taking control and rowing the boat, we just let it drift. But sometimes it doesn't drift anywhere. You notice there's no major waves here. We don't go anywhere because we're just being so flexible that we're just standing still in life. Okay? And then you ask yourself, why? God, why is things not moving forward in my life? I don't understand. I'm being flexible. But see, flexibility is only good when it in situations where it's actually beneficial. There are situations where flexibility is not beneficial, and you need to not be flexible. You need to be determined. You need to be set a goal and work to it and not be flexible on it. Okay? And that's when you start to build. That's when you start to build solid, stable foundations. Okay? In which you will start to feel orphaned because the tribe that you had, they don't understand this. They don't understand this. Okay, I could have swore I blocked my phone. Okay, they don't understand. All right. So with that being the case, all right, uh, you feel left out because your tribe doesn't understand you. But that's why God brings you a new tribe. Gives you a new set of people with a like mindset around you. Okay. And sometimes when you're by yourself, see how you're by yourself, but you're still not on the ground. You're still higher up. Ascending to a higher consciousness, to a higher mindset is difficult. It's not easy, guys. Okay? But when you need help, a leg up comes. People come in to help you. Sometimes, and look, that leg up takes you to Treasure Island and can lead you to the soulmate that you've been looking for your whole life. Okay? And now you're going through a totally different change in life where you realize your imagination, yeah, your imagination, anything you think of, all right, you can create, all right? So I feel like the Most High is telling you today to stop standing on the wayside. Go through the door. Take off the mask. This mask that you've been wearing for a long time is not who you are. It's who you have were told you were supposed to be, or it's a mask that you put on because every time you got too happy, your parents told you, what are you happy about? Every time you tried to do something good, they tore it out of you. Some of y'all, your face has not smiled naturally for a very long time. But it's time for you to tell the truth, see the truth about the environment you came from. All right? And change it. Insanity is defined as doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. If you do what your parents did, how can you expect it to be different than how you turned out? Moving on. Endings that bring healthy beginnings. Letting go and moving forward. Okay? Changing your mindset. Seeing the truth. Also, truth be told about who you are and who you've been pretending to be. Lovers, a passionate connection, shared visions and values. Okay? Bottom of the deck, valuation. Feed out what doesn't serve you. Reevaluate the situation. Because some of you guys, you got people in your environment and your tribe, and you wonder why you can't get ahead. Okay? You wonder why you're not making progress because you're being too flexible. Stop being flexible. Stop being so flexible. And be flexible where it's going to benefit you, not where it's not benefiting you. But you have to be willing to see that and tell the truth about that now, don't you? Hmm. Stubborn energy. Okay. Faraway places. Get ready for new horizons. Why? Because you are moving on and moving up. And that means new experiences. Okay? It says, stop playing it safe. Get ready for new horizons and change in your life. A journey is coming. It might be to foreign lands or faraway places, or maybe be an inner shift that changes your destiny. It's all beneficial. Sometimes we can feel wobbled when we are not in our normal surroundings. However, you are safe and protected. Good fortune ensues. The sacred traveler wants you to know part of the glory of travel is stepping out of old habits, routines, and the repetitiveness of everyday life. It can feel daunting, yet in no small way, your life is a spiritual voyage. Change is coming. Things are not as they seem. There are no wrong turns. Every adventure and misadventure is a part of the course. You are on a pilgrimage of the soul. Keep your metaphorical bag packed. Some unexpected experiences are ahead. Be ready for anything. The joy of travel is that you can begin to experience the everyday as if you are seeing it for the first time. Nothing should be taken for granted. Collective, I think that some of you guys have taken yourselves for granted. I think you have been too flexible with people around you, which has allowed people to think that they have control over you. And I think that it has kept you stagnant in life. And the truth be told, some of you guys need a new environment, new friends, new people. You need fresh energy in order to move ahead. And in order to do that, you have to be willing to see the truth. You have to be willing to show who you are, be who you are, and show who you are. Okay? So that's the message I felt this morning. I hope that this brings you some clarity. I'm going to go to breakfast. I love you guys. Bye.